So since I've finally watched Daredevil, I'm going to be ranking all 3 seasons from my least favorite to my favorite. What's going on, guys? I'm Chris and welcome back to another video. If you haven't seen my most recent video, you should check it out. I'll link it up above. It's where I basically just gush about Daredevil for 10 minutes straight, me saying I think it's the best Marvel show. It's better than all the Marvel Disney Plus shows. But before I get into this, make sure to hit that like button, comment your ranking of the Daredevil seasons down below, and make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future Daredevil, Marvel videos, all that good stuff. So coming in last place for me is going to be Daredevil Season 2. Now, I don't think there is a bad season of the show. Season 2 just so happens to be the weakest in my opinion. Now, the main reason for this is because there's a lot of setup here, as the Defenders, the miniseries with all of the Marvel Netflix heroes, takes place between seasons 2 and 3, so they're setting up the Hand and this organization that's kind of like a bunch of ninjas, honestly, that have this weird thing going on underground for a lot of the season. I just never really had full interest in. There's a lot of portions of the season that drag, especially with the introduction of Elektra, who is a character that I find to be alright. I never really bought into her relationship with Matt, and I know that's really a strong selling point of the season, but for me, I just never really found myself attached to Elektra as a character. I couldn't really buy into their romance or their friendship in that way, so this season also gives us some of the best content in all of Daredevil, as Frank Castle, the Punisher, is introduced in the season. He's one of my favorite characters in the show, and I'm actually working my way through his own show right now, but there are certain moments that are just absolutely brutal in this season, especially the prison scene involving Punisher is one of the standout scenes, not only in this season, but in all of Daredevil, because of how gory and bloody it is, but also how effective it is. It shows just how bad to the bone Frank Castle really is, and I like how Kingpin has a very minor role in the season. He's kind of working in the background, really plotting for what will come in season 3, so I thought that it was all really well done there. He kind of took a little bit of a sideline role, but I thought it was overall effective. This season progresses the friendship between Foggy and Matt and Karen, seeing their camaraderie and chemistry form, and at times even collapse. There's really great tension between the 3 of them. I love the courtroom scenes. That's some of my favorite content in all of Daredevil, when we get to see lawyer Matt Murdock, because I am a sucker for a good courtroom drama, and I feel like this season really dives into that more than the others. So overall, season 2 of Daredevil is very good TV. It's just the weakest of the 3 seasons in my opinion. Next, I'm gonna have to go with the first season of Daredevil, which again is the one that kickstarted it all for the show. I love how this show establishes the world of New York City and Hell's Kitchen right out of the gate. It reminds me somewhat of Gotham City. It's this seedy criminal underworld that we're getting to see through the lens of Matt Murdock / Daredevil. And I like how this show focuses more on the lawyer side of Matt Murdock as well, as we get to see him in the courtroom tackling cases, kind of like a crime procedural show. I'm more interested in that as opposed to some of the straight up Daredevil action at times. That's definitely a highlight of the season. And the scene that really sold me on this show is actually the one-shot looking scene where Daredevil takes out a ton of dudes. It's like the 2nd or 3rd episode, and Daredevil like takes these dudes out in this hallway. It is one of the most well-shot superhero fight scenes I think I've ever seen, and if that doesn't sell you on the show, I don't know what to tell you, because that's one of the best scenes in the whole thing. Seeing the conflict within Matt Murdock of him not really being able to reveal his true identity to everyone, that's something that I always like. It's a great origin for this character. We get a really compelling story of him as a child and his relationship with his father and how that's formed him to be the man that he is today. And of course, the villain and hero dynamic with Kingpin in this season is unmatched. Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin is just a true menace, and this season is really him cementing his name and his legacy in Hell's Kitchen and basically making himself a threat for later seasons of Daredevil. I just love everything this season has to offer. It creates this gritty underworld of Marvel that we don't really get to see that much, and again, it establishes the vibes of Daredevil from the gate. Season 1 is really great, and I want to go back and rewatch it with a new perspective, because it took me a little longer than I would have liked to get fully sold on the show, and even Kingpin as a villain, but now that I've seen the whole entire vision, I definitely want to give season 1 another chance. But my favorite, and I think the best season of Daredevil, has to be season 3. Seeing where Matt Murdock is after the events of the Defenders in this show is just really crazy, and it honestly is like one of those uplifting kind of Rocky 3 stories where a character is at their lowest of lows and they have to work their way back up mentally and physically to be the hero that they once were. I'm editing this video right now, and I don't know why I didn't mention this, but when I was watching this show, I literally felt like it had Dark Knight Rises vibes when Bruce Wayne has to get out of that pit. That's what this entire season felt like, and I loved it. Hope feels lost through a lot of this season, and that's something that I really love about it. No one feels safe. Like, anyone could drop at any given second. People are going to take beat downs, and there's really no hope. There's like no light at the end of the tunnel for these characters. I honestly had no belief that they were going to get out of the situations they were in. It felt like they were not going to come out on top. And do they? You have to watch the show and find out. It's really, really well written, because it just makes you feel so invested and attached to these characters more so than ever in this season, especially with certain episodes actually giving you 20-minute flashbacks that really make you care about characters, especially with the character of Karen, who I feel like has her MVP moment in this season. There's also some new threats introduced, especially one character who goes by the name of Dex that I just absolutely despise as a character. He's so well written, and I acknowledge that, but I hate his guts, and that's kind of the purpose. So I have to give credit to that actor for creating such a hateable character. It's a shame that this show didn't get renewed because I really think they could have done something more with Dex as a character. Seeing how Wilson Fisk / Kingpin is able to manipulate the entire city, he has beef on everybody, whether that's the FBI, journalist, or just the common person on the street. It's really crazy, and I love when villains are able to outsmart everyone and always be a few moves ahead of our main heroes. It really adds to the tension, and the stakes feel a lot higher. This season also has some absolutely shocking reveals that I did not see coming at all, where my jaw was on the floor, and it kind of felt like a lot of payoff from things that were set up in earlier seasons. It was the season that I watched the quickest. I never wanted to stop watching. There were certain episodes I just rolled over into the next one immediately. It had a really satisfying ending, while also setting up a future season 4 that we're probably never going to see, unfortunately. But it's just the perfect season of TV, in my opinion, because there's not really a miss of an episode. Every single character gets their time to shine. There's a lot of stories going on. It's interwoven brilliantly. Daredevil Season 3 is peak Daredevil, in my opinion, and it's unfortunate we're not going to get Season 4 because I think it really would have kicked some ass, but it is easily the best of the 3 seasons we got from Daredevil. But that's going to do it for my quick ranking of all 3 seasons of Daredevil. If you guys want to see me go more in depth on this show, let me know in the comments down below, because I really do enjoy talking about it, and I'm definitely planning to do a characters tier ranking soon with my girlfriend Cam, and I could even do like top 10 moments from each season, something like that. Let me know if you want to see more Daredevil content in the comments down below. Make sure to hit the like button, and of course, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos very soon. Go Dogs! The national championship is later today. I'm very anxious, and until next time, I'll see you guys later.